Hello, friends! In today's video, I'm thrilled to take you on an extraordinary journey, filled with mystery and fantasy. This story is inspired by those timeless tales that could have been passed down from our grandmothers themselves. Stick around until the end as we dive into every hidden twist together. Let's start. Our adventure begins with a king who has fallen gravely ill. His physician informs the royal children that no cure exists, and that their father doesn't have long to live. Falk, the eldest son, bold and unscrupulous, proclaims that he is ready to claim the throne. Meanwhile, his younger brother Fred, who is kind and caring, promises to stay by his father's side until the very end. Then, Samba, the most skilled hunter in the kingdom, interrupts to reveal that a cure may exist. In a distant realm, beyond a dark forest, there is a pond whose waters are said to cure any ailment. Hearing this, Fred immediately decides to go in search of this miracle to save his father. However, his older brother Falk stops him, warning Fred of the many dangers in the forest and his lack of experience with the outside world. Ignoring this, Falk chooses to go in Fred's place after gaining their father's approval. He prepares for the quest, and Samba advises him to be cautious and not to fall for the deceptive visions that the forest may show. Despite this advice, Falk disregards Samba's words, mounts his horse, and sets off fearlessly into the unknown. As he ventures deeper into the dark, dense forest, he marks each tree to ensure he can find his way back. Meanwhile, back at the palace, Fred remains with their ailing father, devoted to his care. In the forest, things quickly take a turn for Falk. He finds himself walking in circles, lost and disoriented. Just then, a mysterious woman appears, watching his confusion. She asks if he knows the way through the forest and offers her help in exchange for some food and drink, claiming she is hungry. Falk dismisses her without hesitation, telling her he has no time for beggars and is destined for the throne. After leaving her, the woman exhales a strange mist that clouds Falk's vision. As he dismounts from his horse, something unknown leaves him injured and unconscious. The woman silently draws back the mist, and unseen forces creep into Falk's mind through his ears. When Falk's horse returns alone to the palace, alarm spreads. Samba informs Fred and the king that the horse's return without Falk is a bad omen. Determined, Fred announces that he will go in search of both his brother and the healing waters, despite their father's fears for Fred's safety. Sensitive to the situation, Fred gets his father's approval to begin his journey. Before he leaves, Samba advises him to stay focused and loyal to his goal. Fred, understanding the weight of the task, mounts his horse and ventures into the forest. Soon, he meets the same woman his brother had encountered. This time, when Fred asks for directions, she again asks for food. Fred, being kind, shares his provisions with her, and she thanks him, telling him the way through the forest. Grateful, Fred continues, and she also requests gold coins. Without hesitation, Fred gives her what he has. Moved by his generosity, the woman promises to help him find the water of life. Intrigued, Fred asks how, and she explains that he must activate a mechanism hidden in a statue of a lion at the entrance of the Palace of Destiny. However, she warns him about a curse that has turned everyone in the distant kingdom to stone. She assures him, though, that he will find someone who can be revived with a kiss. As Fred ventures deeper into the forest, he meets a mysterious figure who introduces herself as a guardian of the land. Her mission is to eliminate the dark forces plaguing the region. Curious, Fred asks about his brother. The figure reveals that Falk has been consumed by his own greed and arrogance, becoming lost to the shadows. With this revelation, she vanishes, leaving Fred to wonder about his brother's fate. Determined, Fred continues his journey until he reaches the gates of a new kingdom. There, he places his hand in the mouth of a lion statue, activating a secret mechanism that opens the palace doors. Inside, Fred finds a heartbreaking sight: an entire palace turned to stone, the victims of the curse frozen in place. He eventually enters a room where he finds Princess Linda, not turned to stone, but in a deep sleep. Remembering the advice from the Guardian, Fred kisses her and she awakens, startled and angry. "Who are you, and why did you kiss me?" she demands. Fred quickly explains his quest to find the water of life for his father. As Linda regains her memories, she reveals that the curse has kept her in this state for 3 years, and that the sacred water Fred seeks is no longer easy to find. She leads Fred to the ancient well and explains that to break the curse and restore the water, Fred must face 3 challenges, each signaled by the ringing of 12 bells. Fred, undeterred, sets off to face these challenges. The first leads him to a garden where he must solve a complex puzzle involving a math equation. With Linda's help, Fred adjusts a stick in the equation, solving the puzzle and earning a drop of a special elixir. The challenges continue as Fred navigates through the palace, collecting the necessary ingredients to break the curse. Along the way, he faces tests of wit, courage, and strength, all while the dark forces of the palace try to mislead and distract him. At last, Fred succeeds in restoring the water of life. He returns to the palace, where Linda and the other residents of the kingdom are freed from their curse. As Fred prepares to return home, he finds his brother, Falk, wounded and lost in a swamp. Despite Falk's earlier treachery, Fred offers him a drink of the water, healing his wounds. However, Falk's greed has not faded. When Fred is distracted, Falk switches the real elixir with swamp water, betraying his brother once again. Fred unknowingly brings the false elixir to their father, causing his condition to worsen. Falk then swoops in, offering the true elixir and taking credit for saving the king's life. Fred, heartbroken and confused, realizes too late what his brother has done. Though the king praises Falk, Fred confronts him, accusing him of lying. But the king, manipulated by Falk, no longer believes Fred and orders his exile. In the forest, Fred is spared by Samba, who warns him not to return to the palace. Meanwhile, Falk believes his plan has succeeded, and the king prepares to crown him as the new ruler. But Fred, with the help of the Guardian, returns just in time. As the truth about Falk's deceit is revealed, Fred is welcomed back into the kingdom. Falk, filled with shame, is forgiven by Fred, but is given a lesser role in the kingdom as punishment. Fred is crowned king, with Linda by his side, and peace is restored. If you enjoyed this retelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more adventures.